Hey, football fans, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're sitting down for this one because we've got a major bombshell dropping in the college football world. If you thought Bill Belichick was just the legendary head coach of the New England Patriots, think again. The man, the myth, the Super Bowl king himself, is making a big-time move, and UNC just handed him a contract that is bound to make waves across both college and pro football. So grab your snacks and let's dive into the crazy details of Bill Belichick's new contract at North Carolina. The big numbers. $10 million a year? Okay. Let's just start with the headline here. Bill Belichick is going to make a staggering $10 million a year as the head football coach at North Carolina. Yeah, you read that right, $10 million. Now, this isn't just any coaching gig, but a 5-year contract that'll make him the 6th highest paid coach in the country, at a public school. 6th. So, what does this mean? Belichick's pay will make him one of the top dogs in college football, trailing just a few coaching heavyweights like Kirby Smart, Dabo Swinney, and Sarkisian. For some context, UNC's previous coach, Mac Brown, was paid about half of what Belichick will make. So, clearly, the Tar Heels are going all in on Belichick's football wizardry, and in a big way. But wait, this isn't just about the base salary. Belichick's contract comes with some serious perks. We're talking about $100 for expenses, yep, you heard that right, and up to $3.5 million a year in bonuses. Let's break down those bonuses, shall we? Now, let's get into the fun stuff. Those bonuses that'll make Belichick even richer. Here's how he can pocket some extra cash each year. $150 for the team playing in a non-CFP bowl game. This is basically like getting a bonus for just making it to a bowl game, and since UNC is looking at a 6-6 record this year, this bonus is probably a lock. $100 for having an NCAA academic progress rate between 950 and 969. And hey, the Tar Heels have crushed that over the past few years, so you can bet that check is on its way. Assistant coaches and staff, more money, more problems? But that's not all, folks. UNC didn't just stop at Belichick's pay, they're going all in on the staff too. Check this out, $10 million for an assistant coach salary pool. This isn't just for one assistant. This is the total amount the university plans to pay their assistant coaches. And let's be real, coaching staffs are essential to success, so that extra money will be well spent. $1 million dedicated to the strength and conditioning staff. Talk about investing in those big muscles. And then there's $5.3 million for the support staff, which includes a new general manager role. For those who don't know, a general manager in college football is like a football operations wizard. And UNC is dropping $1.5 million to make sure they hire the right guy. Who's stepping into those shoes? None other than Mike Lombardi, former NFL executive. Let's hope he's got some serious magic up his sleeve for Belichick's new crew. Revenue sharing. UNC taking NIL to the next level. Here's a part of the deal that's going to turn a lot of heads. The contract also includes a $13 million revenue sharing deal. Yep. You guessed it, this is about the NIL rights. For those who aren't in the loop, NIL, name, image, and likeness, deals allow athletes to get paid for their name and brand. North Carolina is the first school to openly discuss paying its football players as part of the coach's contract. The university plans to pay its players a chunk of that $13 million. And if this goes through, it could change the game for how much college athletes get paid. With $20 million to $23 million expected to be dished out for all athletes under the NIL agreement, North Carolina is setting a precedent for how college sports will operate moving forward. Big moves, big money, the big picture. Why Belichick? Now, let's talk about the bigger picture here. Bill Belichick is probably the most iconic football coach in NFL history. The guy's got 6 Super Bowl titles, and he's coached some of the best athletes to ever step onto a football field. So why would someone like Belichick, who's achieved basically everything there is to achieve in the NFL, make the leap to college football? Let alone North Carolina? Well, it could be about the challenge. Let's face it, after running the Patriots dynasty for decades, coaching a college football team could be a fresh challenge for Belichick. And UNC is investing heavily in making sure Belichick has all the tools and resources he needs to succeed. Additionally, the nil landscape is only growing, and if there's one thing Belichick knows, it's how to maximize value and optimize systems. Bringing a coach of his caliber could give the Tar Heels a serious leg up in recruiting and building a championship-level program. What's next? If you're a UNC fan, you've got to be stoked right now. A $10 million a year coach with world-class assistants and staff is a recipe for success, and Belichick is not exactly a slouch when it comes to turning programs into powerhouses. If anyone can take North Carolina to the next level, it's the guy who created the NFL dynasty in New England. Closing remarks. Well, that's all the juicy info we've got for today. Folks, Bill Belichick's $10 million contract is one of the biggest deals in college football. And it's definitely going to stir up some conversation around the college football world. So, what do you think? Can Belichick turn North Carolina into a national powerhouse? Or is this just a flashy move by UNC? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Let's keep the conversation going. And I'll catch you next time. Bill Belichick talks family ties, commitment to North Carolina, and his desire to coach college football in first press conference as Tar Heels head coach. In a moment that sent shockwaves through the college football world, Bill Belichick officially introduced himself as the new head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels during his first press conference on Thursday. Known for his no-nonsense, sometimes dry sense of humor, Belichick's opening remarks were just as calculated as his legendary coaching strategy. But this time, the story wasn't about Super Bowls or game plans, it was about family, nostalgia, and a deep-rooted connection to the UNC program that dates back to his childhood. Billy's first words were, "Beat Duke." As the six-time Super Bowl champion stood behind the podium, he pulled out an old North Carolina sweatshirt, one that belonged to his father, Steve Belichick, who was an assistant coach at UNC in the 1960s. With a smile, Bill shared a family legend that gave the room a glimpse of the Tar Heel bloodline that runs deep in the Belichick family. Billy's first words were, "Beat Duke." Belichick quipped, recalling a story his family often tells about his early years as a toddler. "If that doesn't scream Carolina pride, I don't know what does." But it wasn't just the family connections that brought Belichick to Chapel Hill. It was a long-time dream finally coming to fruition. As Belichick went on to explain, he had always envisioned himself as a college football coach. But the timing just never worked out until now. "I didn't come here to leave." When asked about his long-term commitment to UNC and whether he'd consider returning to the NFL after a few seasons, Belichick delivered a line that should have the Tar Heel fanbase feeling both reassured and excited. "I didn't come here to leave," he said with conviction. This wasn't just a passing comment, it was a bold declaration. Bill Belichick, the man who led the New England Patriots to 6 Super Bowl victories, was committing to building something lasting at North Carolina. With a 5-year deal already signed, he's not planning on jumping ship anytime soon. In a world where coaching careers are often as unpredictable as the seasons, Belichick's pledge feels like a statement of intent. He's here to stay, and he's here to win. The desire to keep coaching. While many thought that Belichick's days of coaching were numbered, after all, he was out of a job for the 2023 season. He made it clear in his press conference that he still has a burning passion for the game. "Beats working," he said, referencing a piece of advice his father gave him early in his career. "When you love what you do, it's not work. I love what I do. I love coaching. I love the interaction with players. I love building a team. Assistants, game planning, the game itself." The way Belichick spoke about his craft was the same way we've heard him talk about football for decades, full of energy and genuine enthusiasm. Despite his famously deadpan delivery, it's clear that even after decades of success in the NFL, the fire is still burning for Belichick. The man who transformed the Patriots into an NFL dynasty now has his sights set on a new challenge, turning the North Carolina Tar Heels into a college football powerhouse. Replacing Mac Brown.